Hello, everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You're listening to PS. This is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 390, 10 episodes away from the monumental 400, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PS. This is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can also check out our trophy list on the PSN. I'm Anchorless_81. Jake is JakeSaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with friends. Don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 a month, you can join the one and only $1 Club and receive a die-cut vinyl sticker plus a shout-out on our show. Most times you also get the show a day or two early by doing this. Visit patreon.com/PS. This is awesome to support us. And remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. With all of that out of the way, how are you doing today, Jake?
I'm doing fine today. I have a sore knee because I re-aggravated. I don't remember if I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I aggravated my knee, and I re-aggravated it on Friday. So I had a bit of trouble with it over the weekend. But dude, I woke up on Saturday, and I'm not fucking around. So Friday night in the evening, I was playing. Sarah was out. She was hanging out with Seth, so I was just by myself. So I was playing some video games, and I had two beers. And these weren't like crazy beers. They were Yinglings, like 5% alcohol. Nothing bananas. I had two beers. Saturday, I woke up and had what seemed like one of the worst hangovers I've ever had in my entire fucking life. And I don't know if it was really a hangover. Like, how, like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, it's almost unbelievable that it's this bad. I had two fucking beers.
Yeah, right.
So like, did I catch something that was like a one-day kind of thingamajig? Did
Food poisoning?
Food could be. I mean, the way it presented was just a really bad headache all day and a little bit of nausea, but I think the nausea was more associated with the headache than it was because I actually had a stomach ache. And the one thing that I think it could possibly be related that I didn't think about until after the fact was, I wonder if it's partially allergies. Because like goldenrod and shit like that is really bad right now, and I was outside a lot on Friday, so I don't know if maybe that was part of it. Because like I think it was around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, after feeling like shit all day, I was just like YOLO, and I took like a 24-hour allergy pill just because I was just like, I don't know what's going on here. And I seemed to feel better after that, but I don't know if it was because I took the allergy pill or because like I just had a hangover or I was sick or something and it was just wearing off by the evenings or whatever. But dude, super bizarre. Like, it's like one of these instances where it's just like, if this is a hangover, I just shouldn't drink anymore. If I'm going to get hangovers like this after having two beers.
Well, all you need to do is just have two more beers again and see what happens.
Just there's two beers. Yeah, I thought about it on Saturday. I was like, because some people swear by tying, hair of the dog shit, but the last thing I want to do is drink fucking alcohol of any kind when I feel like that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't drink anything. And Sunday, I was throwing the frisbee for the dog, and I was like, I was making dinner, and I was like, you know what, I have some of these just like really light like Leinenkugel summer shandy things. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'll have one of these while I'm making dinner. That sounds good. And I was like kind of worried that I was going to get sick drinking it, but I felt totally fine
I've seen you
afterwards.
pound
so.
beers. I can't imagine that it's a hangover.
It's so weird because it's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't drink all the time. I just like will have a few on the weekends, but it's like, dude, I've had some pretty bad hangovers. I'm not gonna lie, like way worse than the one I had on Saturday. But it was like the punishment did not fit the crime here.
Yeah.
All right. So like this was borderline. My brother gets insane hangovers. Like he's one of these people that can't, like, it almost seems like he might even be allergic to alcohol. Like he has a few drinks and he's like puking the whole next day.
Wow.
That's how bad his hangovers are. And so like,
sounds like a gluten allergy or something.
dude, I don't know, man. But it was like one of these things where it's just like, dude, if I'm getting hangovers like Josh gets hangovers, I'm never fucking drinking again.
Yeah.
Or I'm getting like, NA beer or something like that. But yeah, that was a little bit of, so like it was kind of a waste of a Saturday. I ended up actually in the evening going out and mowing the lawn. That was one of the things that I did because I was like, well, my knee hurts and I feel like shit, but I can sit on a mower and drive around the yard and I was able to do that and that wasn't too bad. But yeah, I just ran down to Dollar General. It's like a 10-minute drive. I just ran down to Dollar General to like right after lunch to get something, just like get out of the house, like try to like shake it off. And dude, the whole time I was in the car, I'm like, I should not be out. Like I was like, my head hurts and I'm just like, whoa, like the whole way driving down the road. It's like, what is going on with me today?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's allergies. Maybe it's, maybe it's brown bottle flu. Maybe it's freaking, maybe I got like short COVID or something. I don't fucking know.
Right.
But it was really, really bizarre.
That's
So,
interesting.
but other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. That was my weekend.
Well, very good. Cool, man. Geez, what did I do? Friday, I played a gig at Davenport Fruit Farm Cidery and Winery. I got to try out one of our new PA monitors. I bought these 12-inch Mackie. I forget what they're called. They're something. They're powered speakers, but they're the ones that are Mackie Thrash speakers. Now, maybe they're thumps. Maybe they're 12-inch thumps, but regardless, Mackie wouldn't be my preferred choice, but I was going for an affordable speaker that we can use just for monitoring. And there's like a weird woofy low end to it that I had to EQ out, which was easy to do, and it just sounded fine. So I played this show. It was fine. What's funny, something funny that happened that night, Friday. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a big John Moreland fan, and he actually canceled the rest of his tour for personal reasons, so hopefully everything's going all right with him. But he was on a Zach Bryan record, and Zach had invited John, I don't know all the details, to sing and write a verse and sing on one of his songs. Zach Bryan's pretty big. And the more I hear about Zach Bryan, the less I care for him, even if he writes some okay songs. But Zach got picked up by a major, like a really big major or something, and pulled John Moreland's part off of the song because John was talking shit online about him, and he had some other guy write a verse for the same part. And it's funny because the new guy's verse, it's the same syncopation, it's the same length, it's just different words and a different voice. But the Moreland version was so much better than this other guy he pulled on. But no offense to the other guy, I like John Moreland's style. But so apparently John, while all this was going on, prior to him even getting pulled off what Zach did is he removed that song from streaming, and then when he got picked up by a new label, he had some other artist come in and sing that second half of the song. So it's interesting because it takes a lot of work to do that, for like an artist to be like, I'm so mad at you for what you said about me that I'm gonna pull your vocal lines off of this thing that we worked on together and then have someone else do it. But I will say that, so this is going to tie into Friday pretty quickly with my Friday, but John had gotten on his Instagram, and I'm paraphrasing, but he essentially said that he didn't know Zach at all, And Zach had asked him to be on his record, and he's like, so I said, sure, you know. And he wrote and recorded his part, and then he and Zach had hung out a few times, but Zach wasn't really the kind of guy that John essentially would associate with, you know, like they were at John Moreland's watering hole, and Zach apparently brought in like an underage girl and had asked John Moreland to like reason with the bartender to let her stay. And John was like, dude, she's fucking underage. You know what I mean? This is, I'm paraphrasing, but this is the story. And then also Zach apparently was talking shit on John Moreland's wife and stuff, like acting like she was such a pain in the ass to him and stuff or something. And John came out on his Instagram and he was just like, yo, dude, he goes, the only thing cooler than being invited and being invited to be on a Zach Bryan record is getting kicked off of the Zach Bryan record, which is fucking hilarious. But anyways, I do a couple John Moreland covers when I play out, and I played this song by John Moreland, and this other guy came up and he was like, yo, man, he started walking up with a tip jar, and he said something like, I'm going to ask you to play a couple. And on his way up, I was like, yeah, I don't know a lot of cover songs. And he joked and he laughed and he turned around and he's like, all right then. And then he turned back around. He's like, nah, I'm just kidding. And he came up to the stage and he goes, you know any Allman Brothers? And I was like, nope. Do you know any Willie Nelson? Nope. Do you know any, I think he asked if I could do any Bob Dylan. I was like, nope. And he goes, and he started getting agitated. And I was like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. I told you I don't really do any covers. I said, I can do a Jim Croce song. And he goes, no, I don't want to hear that. And I'm like, all right, well. And what I do is I play my own songs. So he threw the tip in. Well, just keep doing what you're doing then. And he walked away, and I was like, all right. So later, his son came up, and his son goes, threw a tip in my jar. And he goes, do you know any more John Moreland songs? Do you know that you don't care enough for me to cry? I said, I know the song, but I haven't learned it. I said, it's a great song. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I know him. I found out about him because he was on that Zach Bryan song. And then the kid goes, but I heard there's some beef or something. But he goes, I like them both. And I was like, well, that's cool that Moreland is getting some attention, but maybe not the attention he wants. But this guy checked him out. And I encouraged this kid. This kid was a kid. He was a kid. He was probably I don't know, 16, 17 maybe. And I was like, well, dude, you got to check out his other stuff. And he goes, I will, man. So I did another John Moreland song. Anyways, that was my Friday. It was a good night. Saturday, you said Sarah hung out with Seth Saturday night, but I hung out with Seth
Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Friday night.
All right, so I hung out with Seth during probably around 5 to 7 on, which isn't really nighttime, on Saturday. We went to the fair, and the Crawford County Fair. I know, Jake, we were there on Wednesday, and I have finally officially started my diet. When I mean diet, I don't mean I do some calorie counting, and it really is the only way that really works for me, because my issue is not that I'm not active. It's not that I just portion control, dude, and I love to snack. So needless to say, I wanted to eat some food, and I loaded up on Saturday, and it felt good. So, man, the fair food is just so good. It's so bad for you, but it's so good. I got these loaded fries, these garbage fries, sans the chili that they put on it. And then I also got a slice of Campy's pizza. And played some bingo at the fair. Have you ever played bingo at the fair?
I mean, I've seen people play it, but I've never played it.
We played bingo. It's so easy to do. It's really fun. It's $0.25 a card. And your winning is just a percentage of all the cards purchased on that round, which is kind of fun. But we didn't win anything, and played the dime pitch, won a couple glasses, and then I officially had my fill of the fair. We played there so late on Wednesday that I didn't really get a chance to really take it in. There's something about the smells and the carnies and the shitty carnival rides, and dude, I love all that stuff, dude. It just speaks to me for some reason. I don't know what it is. So that was Saturday. Sunday, went to a place in Pennsylvania called Harmony. Have you ever been to Harmony? It's close to Zelia and Opal.
I think I've been through there, but I couldn't tell you.
Ate at this German place called the Harmony Inn. It was really good. Had a Schreuben. There's a mushroom Reuben. No meat on it, but it was delicious. Portions were good. And then leaving, was on this road called White's Road, like White's Road or White's something. And I'm looking around, and all these houses are fucking $500,000 houses, $250,000 houses. Like, they are like probably the couple were probably definitely a couple $1 million homes. And we're on the road, and we're just driving. It's like, holy shit. Like, this road is like full of rich people. And then I looked into this fucking huge neighborhood, and it was just called The Plantation. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then on the way out, I saw this antique store, and I stopped in. And my parents have this Victrola, which is like a really old. Do you know what those are? They're like the first record players. They play like the wax cylinders. Every once in a while, you can find these wax cylinders at these places really cheap, and they always sound like garbage. But my grandpa had one, and he passed it on to my parents. So anytime I'm in one of these places, I see if they have any of these fucking cylinders, and I pick up a couple and try to take them. Anyways, I stopped in there, but as I'm walking through, I saw a book just out in the open, just titled Hitler. And I'm like, maybe I'm not in the right area. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like putting all these weird things together. And then the server that we had, keep in mind, it was like a small mini German town, which was really weird. And her name was like Nosley or something. And when I looked down at the check, it literally looked like it said Nazi. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Anyways, that was my Sunday, which was interesting. So I couldn't prescribe to any of that shit. I think it's just a weird synchronicity that I was just seeing all this stuff, and I'm like, this is not my kind of people or my place. But dude, that being said, today I forgot that years ago I had remembered that PA Lottery have a website that you can log into. So my mom helped me with some stuff around the house the other day, and I bought her a lottery ticket as a thank you. And I bought myself a lottery ticket, and I put it under the visor, and I forgot that I still had mine there. So today I'm scratching this lottery ticket, and I lost. And then I remembered, oh shit, that's right. You can play Pennsylvania Lottery if you create an account online. And it's like a little mini game or something. It's like an electronic game. And I don't believe in them very much. But I was on lunch today at work. And I had only tried it once. I had spent I think I deposited $10 from my bank account into there. And I ran through. And I won a couple bucks, lost a couple bucks. And eventually, it's like a slot machine, right, on your phone. And then I had 40 cents left. And I just left it alone. I never touched it again. Well, I had a hankering for just pressing my luck today. And I was like, I'm going to try to get on there and see if I can maybe make some money. So I do. This is a weird thing for me to do. But I put $40 in the account, and I was doing $2 slots on this online Pennsylvania. It's sanctioned. It's like Pennsylvania Lottery. And my third try, I won $70. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. And I cashed out. The money's on its way to me in PayPal. And I'm like, wow, that was really nice. You know, I made $70 on lunch today, which was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you guys are feeling dangerous, and you wanna go live on the streets and all that stuff and go in debt,
of course you're gonna have to pay the state $1.50.
They're gonna send me a 1099 or some shit. It's some miscellaneous thing. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get something. But anyhow, that's kind of cool though. $70 that paid for my Death Stranding 2. That out of the way. Speaking of games we're playing, I am not playing Death Stranding 2. I'm not playing anything at the moment. I've been so busy. Just absolutely running on fumes in my life. But Jake, and I apologize to the listeners. Hopefully I'll get back to some time where I can actually play some games. I need to get back to Death Stranding 2, make some more progress. But I have my reasons, which I'm not going to go into. But Jake, what about you? You playing anything?
Yeah, so what was I playing last week? I don't even fucking know, man. Oh, Oh, so I said last week how I was kind of just playing a little bit of that PGA Tour game.
Yeah.
And dude, fuck these games. Fuck all these simulation sports games. I hate them. It shouldn't be harder to play a simulation golf game than it is for me to go out and play 9 fucking holes in real life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It just shouldn't be that hard. Dude, it's just I even turned down like the difficulty on the swing and all this shit, and I was just struggling. And don't get me wrong, the game's great, looks great, it's kind of cool, like, you know, the whole be a pro thing is all real interesting and everything. One of the things I don't like about it though, and they're all like this, and I don't understand, there's no way the EA is this fucking stupid, but have you ever played one of these sports games? Like, I'm sure you've played the show and stuff. I don't know if you've ever played an EA one, like one of the golf games or whatever, one of the career modes. But they do this thing, right, where it's like, okay, I'm going to start this career. And a golf tournament is 4 days. Each day you play 18 holes, which, as you can imagine, would take a very long time to do if you wanted to do that, all of that, in real time. So, well, I say in real time, but play every single hole and you're hitting every single shot and blah, blah, blah. It takes a long time. So they do this thing where it's like, okay, this round of the tournament, you're going to play these 5 holes. So it'll start you off on like hole 7. And then you'll play like 7 to 12. And at the start of it, it simulates your score up to hole 7. So let's say you're even through 7. So then you play those 5 rounds, and then it simulates like the last, 6 holes. So what annoys me is that, like, I'll start one of these rounds. I'm only playing 5 holes.
Yeah.
I'll be like -1 through 5 holes. And then when it simulates the rest of the round, my finishing score is like +5. It's like, what the fuck? I either birdied or parred every single hole that I actually played, and yet you simulated my round so that I was +5 at the end of the fucking round? Come on, guys. Like, you should be able to compensate on the fly with how much real skill I have in the shit that I'm actually playing. I used to do this shit all the time with what was it? Maybe it was, I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, it was the MotoGP game. The MotoGP game was the same way. It was like, the way that motorcycle racing works, at least in MotoGP, is it's like there's practice, which determines which qualifying group you're in, and then there's qualifying, which determines your grid position for the race.
Yeah.
I would simulate all that stuff and just go straight to the race, and it would qualify me in like fucking, I don't know, P20. So I'd be like 20th on the grid, and it's like, so every single time I did one of these races, I would make a point to play the fucking qualifying round, because I would qualify by playing it in like P3. And so when I started the race, I could be in 3rd position. And it's like, you guys got to get better with this simulation shit. Like, read what I'm actually doing as a player.
Right.
Don't just look at the fact that, like, I haven't leveled up my character yet, so my stats aren't as good. It's like, you saw the 5 holes of golf I played. I was fucking -2 through 5 holes. Do you really think that I'm going to simulate the rest of this round and be -5, -6 for the whole fucking thing? Especially when it's like, oh, you need to be top 30 to qualify for the next tournament or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, after the 5 holes I've played, I'm in 2nd place. But then after you simulate the rest of the round, I'm now in 37th. It's like, guys, what are we doing with this shit? But to be fair, on top of that, I was also like really, like, it got to a point where I was playing it and I'm like really bad at it. Where I'd be because the game is, I don't know if you remember this when you were playing these games before, but I feel like Hot Shots Golf, or Everybody's Golf, like that's the most recent one I've played. They give you more information on like the lie of the ball and what feedback you're going to get when you hit it. So, like, in this game, you know, you see the ball, it's on the fairway, it looks like it's sitting flat. You swing, and your swing is perfectly straight, and every so often, randomly, the fucking ball just goes, like, 30 degrees offline. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And here it's like, oh, maybe the ground was, like, a little bit kind of... Your ball was a little bit below your feet, so you needed to aim a little bit to the left and shit. But I don't feel like the game communicates that information to you very well. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Maybe I'm not reading it well. But I was really struggling with this type of shit. Or like, you know, my approach shot to the green. It's like, okay, the green is sloping down. It's 20 yards above me. I need to hit below the hole so it stays on the green, whatever. I'll land the ball right where I want it to go, and it just flies off the other side of the green. And it's like, I get, like, these are things that you kind of have to learn just by playing the game. Right. But it's not like in real life when you're standing on a green and you can see, like, you can feel, like, the lay of everything, how sloped everything is. You can see the pitch. But in a video game, you can't see all of that.
Right.
It's like you're not standing right there. Like, maybe if they had a first-person mode where you can, like, see how everything's laid out. But I don't know. I digress. I'm sorry. That was a little bit of a side rant about fucking PGA Tour, whatever the hell it was I was playing. To be fair, though, it is a cool game. I just wish it wasn't so hard. Like, I wish that it was a little bit more casual. Like, it's very hardcore in the simulation. And it's the same reason why I don't play, like, the NHL games and stuff. It's like, I love hockey. But I can't get into the NHL games because there's all this free movement with this, like, the analog sticks where you can do stick handling and all this crazy shit that it's like, bro, what happened to NHL 94 on SNES where, like, I just kind of pressed two buttons and, like, that was the fun fucking game. And so anyway, I digress. I played that until Friday, and then finally I was just like, fuck it, because I got to a point where I just was getting so fed up with it. So I ended up buying Mafia: The Old Country.
Oh.
And I've been playing that all weekend. Dude, this game is awesome. It is really good. I'm not going to lie. Like, some people are going to play it and be like, oh, it's really simplistic. It's very, like, PS3-esque in its gameplay and stuff like that. And it is. You know, it's very like, oh, like, there's basic sneaking. The gunplay is very straightforward. You know, the driving is really floaty, like an old school GTA game or something. You know, like, you'll be sneaking around and you'll do shit like throw coins to get the guys distracted. Then you go up and choke them out and stuff. And you pick guys up and you can hide them in, like, boxes so that their bodies aren't found. But then, like, you go open the box a second time and the body's not in there. Like, there's, like, shit like that that is, you know, obviously it's like they've kind of trimmed the fat a little bit on this. But the game's $50, first of all. And second of all, the game is beautiful. The setting of the game and actually driving around the world, it looks awesome. Especially, like, you know, we talked about it on the podcast before. Like, my wife and I were in Italy this year for our 10th anniversary, and they do such a good job of, like, just presenting that environment to you. It's very, very well done. And on top of that, the story is really fucking cool. The voice acting is really good. It's such a cool, like, mobster kind of tale, but, like, this origin story in Sicily in, like, the early 1900s. And so it's, like, very unique in its setting and how everything is portrayed, even though it's sort of this traditional kind of mobster story. Like, it's really cool. Like, I really like it a lot. Mm-hmm. And for $50, man, it is great. And I've played it for, I think, 6 or 7 hours at this point, and I'm, like, halfway through the game. So it's not a long game. It's like,
that's nice.
It's like 14 hours long, like 12 to 14 hours long, something like that for the main campaign. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, sign me up all day long. I would love to have, you know, I don't want to say I want every game to be like this, right? But I would have, you know, I would love to have, like, 5 of these games a year to be able to play. I can beat them in a couple of weekends, even with my busy schedule. You know, it's more about like a, you know, trim the fat kind of experience. It's just, it's in and out. The story is really good. The setting's really good. I don't know, man. I really like it. It's one of these games where when you get to a position where you're up to playing something new, I definitely or it's on sale or something, I definitely recommend you give it a go. Because like it's it has like an Uncharted kind of feeling to it. And I know that that's been a point of comparison online with this game,
But you think it holds up?
but it's not. It's Uncharted in its presentation, not in its content, if that makes any sense. Where it's like, it's sort of, you know, the way that you kind of run around, and like the way that you, like the combat and the sneaking is all very similar to kind of Uncharted. The gunplay is a little bit more, I don't want to say wonky, because I think they did this on purpose, where like the aiming has got a lot of sway to it, because I think they try to inject a little bit of realism to it, where it's not just like you're snapping on guys doing headshots. Like there's a little bit more thought involved. Mm-hmm. There's this like knife fight mechanic in the game where it's almost like you know, like they have the dueling mechanic in Ghost of Tsushima, where you do like the samurai duels.
Line up and right.
Right. So imagine something like that, but it's like knife fighting. And there's like a mechanic where you like parry and dodge, and you can stab and slash, and you can like break their guard. Like it's actually pretty fucking cool. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm not going to sit here and exclaim that this is like the most deep, like best gameplay experience of all time. But dude, I am totally enamored with it. And the fact that it's coming in at $50, the fact that it is as well put together as it is, that it's completely respecting my time. It's a linear experience. I'm not like running around. There is an open map that you could kind of cruise around in if you want, but it's not like I drop into this world and there's all these fucking points of interest on the map that I got to go to and do these side tasks and everything. No, there's a linear story that you play. That's just like a side bit where you can kind of drive around and do stuff if you want. It's got like there's got a couple of cool like missions that you would expect out of like a Mafia or GTA style game, where one of them's like a horse race. One of them is like an early automotive race where you're racing like these super old fucking early 1900s cars.
That one, right?
Yeah, like it's and then obviously there's a lot of like sneaking. There's a thing where you have to like take some pictures with this like early like box camera, so you have to do like the focus and the exposure to like get the picture to come out, and then when it comes out it's like almost like a black and white like early Polaroid kind of thing. Cool. Looks really cool. I don't know that there is one, but if there isn't, they should definitely patch in like a photo mode for this game. I'm not like into photo modes, but I could definitely see this being a game that would really benefit from one. But yeah, I'm super into it. I've never played a Mafia game before, and now that I've played this one, I almost want to, maybe not immediately because there's other games to play, but I definitely want to check out Mafia the Definitive Edition after playing this one, because I'm just really stoked on it right now. And we'll see how it plays out, but everything that I've read is that, you know, the story's great. And I honestly, seeing the Metacritic scores, it being in like a 75 or something like that, I don't fucking understand it at all. I definitely think it's higher than that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because people think it's too light, like there's not enough content there or something, but it's like, bro, I mean, this is what we want. We don't want, like, people talk about open world fatigue and all this shit, and then a company serves you up a 15-hour, 12-hour, 14-hour beautiful narrative story. It's like, no, this game is not the fucking Last of Us, okay? It's not going to hit that bar. But dude, it's $50. And the fact that it is what it is really impressive to me. So I'm all about it. I recommend it to anyone who's into third-person action kind of games. I'll be honest with you, like, I've never really been that interested in like mobster stories. Like, I never really got into The Sopranos or or like I watched the movie like Casino and stuff, but it's like it's not really, or The Godfather, like it's not really like my cup of tea.
Right.
But there's this like point at the beginning of the game where you get caught, and like I'm trying to tiptoe around spoilers, but like the main like mob boss dude like shows up, and he's just like that stereotypical like soft spoken, very little expression on his face, but the shit that he says is just so hard that it's like it like gives you chills almost.
That's
it's
awesome.
fucking rad, man. I'm all about it. Sorry, I've been gushing a little bit. There are, like I said, there's some stuff that obviously you can nitpick about. Everything about the quality of the game in terms of the gameplay. It's very PS3 generation in terms of like its gameplay. So yeah, you can argue that like it should have more progression. It should have snappier controls. It should have better this, that, or whatever. But I mean, I think for what it is, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Huh. Good, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just wasn't sure what it was going to be like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it looks
and I know
a little
we kind of
jank, but like it also looks like it could be a lot of fun.
And dude, like even though not all the animations and some of the stuff is kind of weird or whatever, like the facial animations, especially during the dialogue and stuff, are really good. Like they definitely, you could tell that their number one focus with this game was like presentation and story.
Yeah.
And everything else was kind of second. And not that that's necessarily a problem. I know it will be for some people, but yeah, I mean, I was really unsure about it. And then the closer it got to launch, I was like, oh, that actually looks kind of cool. That actually looks kind of cool. And then I watched some reviews of it, and people are like, bro, this is fucking dope. And I'm like,
That's
oh,
Good.
I need to try this, especially because I was looking for something to play. I knew it was going to be short, and we've got more games coming out than we know what to do with or this fall.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to try it. I can get this done pretty quick and see what's up. And man, I'm really glad I did. I'm really enjoying it.
Good. Good. Doesn't seem like it's going to take up too much time either. That's nice. Cool. Well, we got a little bit of listener feedback, Jake. Every episode we talk about listener feedback. If you guys want to write in, go ahead and leave a comment on any of the YouTube videos we have, and I will see them. Or you can just send an email to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Or you can do it the way we would prefer you to do it, which is pay $1 a month to be a Patreon of the show and send us a message on Patreon. Patreon.com/psthisisawesome. But One Black Tylon writes in via YouTube, and he says, Fred, could you give us a quick explanation of your multiple bands and what type of music each one plays? I have a couple of your CDs, and I know Jake is in one of the bands, plus I know you play solo, so maybe the band's names and the style of music each plays. I'm listening for a few years, and I don't know if you ever have given these details. Thank you. Yeah. Without going into too much detail, I started in a band when I was younger, and we actually had a lot of traction in this area. It was right place, right time, whatever. We were in a band called the Twerpentines, and it was a young Fred. We put out 2 full-length records and some other shit, and we had like a larger following than I would say we ever deserved, going back and listening to those songs. But we were good for our age, and we toured, and we played a lot of places. And then when that band broke up, we had some...
You should say what kind of music it was.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of punk rock, I guess. I don't know. It's not even like punk like you would think it to be. Emo punk?
So I would argue it's like somewhere... It's like if you were to sort of blend like punk and like traditional rock and maybe alternative, it's kind of like if you could sort of draw a triangle, it would probably be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Thanks, Jake. And towards the end of that band, we had a member change. We lost our buddy John. He's still with us, but he left the band. It sounded like he fucking died. We lost John, and then we picked up a guy named Troy Meserol. And then Troy and I were just riding high from the Twerpentine still. And we started a band called Signal Home, Signal space Home, Home as it sounds. And we recorded one record, one full length, and before we released it, we got picked up by a label. And this is a band I've talked about before. And the label's called Carbon Copy Media. It was an imprint label, almost an imprint. It wasn't. It was some sort of label that was branched off of Victory Records, if you've heard of Victory. A lot of bigger bands in there. Carbon Copy was ran by the dudes from Hawthorne Heights, and we were buddies with those guys, and we toured around quite a bit. And that record made it to stores worldwide, which is cool. It had Sony distribution, and keep in mind, we still lived in this podunk town we live in then, so that was a huge accomplishment for us. Looking back and listening to that record, there are some bangers still on that record. It's just the Turpentines probably on steroids, really. It's better quality songs, a little bit different sounding, a little more... The album felt like a cohesive album. We did record some other songs, but we didn't really release anything else. We had like a live record on Bandcamp. All this stuff, I think, is on bandcamp.com if you want to check it out. And then Signal Home broke up because the label we were on fell apart, and there was a big lawsuit between Hawthorne Heights and Victory Records. You can look that up. We were essentially just an ancillary casualty of a lawsuit that we had nothing to do with. We were on the road when our record came out. The day our record came out, I don't know what city we were in, and we were touring to support it pre-release. And the day our record came out was the day that Hawthorne Heights filed their lawsuit against the record label that was funding this whole thing. And then we lost all opportunity pretty much right then and there. We lost our publicist. We lost... we already didn't really have much support on the road. Like, we were paying for it all ourselves, even though we had good... We lost our publicist, we lost our publisher, our distribution, we lost the label. So we were on the road with fucking nowhere. I mean, shows to play, but to paint a real transparent picture, our per diem per member on this tour was $2 a day. Like, we were paying ourselves literally $2 a day to be in that band. Like, we were like literally chasing the dream, man. And we were so close. Like, we were in AP, alternative press. Like, we were playing shows with big bands, but opening gigs didn't pay much. They paid like $100 to $200, and then we would just rely on having a killer set and just killing it in merch. And we did that every night. So we were building an audience. But when the label just crashed, we didn't do much. But anyways, that whole thing ended. That was abandoned in like 2006. That record came out. Shortly after that, I still wasn't ready to give it up, so I grabbed my acoustic guitar and I went and I did a little bit of touring under the moniker Weekends, and that is essentially what I'm doing now solo, but I just changed it to Fred Oakman because it just made more sense. But I've rebranded everything online to Fred Oakman. It's just acoustic songs that really don't fit elsewhere. Jake plays in the band The Flood with me, and we go by Fred Oakman and The Flood, and they come around to shows when the venues are willing to have us and when we can make the schedules work. And they also play on the Fred Oakman record. And outside of that, Troy has been with me since the Turpentines. So he plays in The Flood, he plays in the Turpentines, he played in Turpentines, he played in Signal Home. And 3/4 of the members of Signal Home, the band that was signed, is now in my current punk rock band or rock and roll band called One If by Land. And that sounds exactly like it sounds. We have 3 full-length records out. We've been at it for a long time. We don't have the critical success or the whatever success that Signal Home had, but arguably we're writing the best shit we've ever written. So I think... we're kicking ass. There's just not a lot of opportunity in Northwest PA. You know, we're 2 hours from Pittsburgh. We're 2 hours from Cleveland. We're, about 2 hours from Buffalo, even further from Philly, so we don't have a big market to play to. So we just kind of do it for ourselves. We've been doing it. So that's One If by Land, and 4 words. And we have a Bandcamp site also. So you can check out all that if you're interested. One of My Land just put an order in to have some hoodies made, which is awesome. It's the design for our latest record, American Crows. And it's this black hoodie with this awesome crow on the front. And they look sick. I can't wait to get one. So anyways, with fall coming up, we thought that was a smart idea. And the Commonwealth Press in Pittsburgh are making them for us, and they do great work. So they make all the Fred Oakman shirts I have out. But anyways, that's going on. That's what I've been doing and still actively doing that. One of my land has maybe played one concert all year, maybe two this year. And we have one coming up in November. So we don't get out often. We don't practice often. We were supposed to practice on Sunday. Jimmy, our drummer, his kid, his sister had a birthday that he had to go to, so he had to cancel practice. So we do it when we can, but it is a labor of love. It takes a lot of time and effort, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Thanks for asking, One Black Talon. Those are the groups. And, of course, I play solo, which is essentially the same set list that I do with The Flood, just the songs are reworked a little bit different between the two. So maybe one of these days we'll do another record. I want to. We have more than enough songs. But enough about me. Let's talk about some news. This is a PlayStation podcast. Jake talked a lot about games already. We're going to talk more about games. Just a couple things. We know Gamescom happened, and I've got a couple little things I want to talk about after we go through the news points, if there's anything specific that Jake or I want to touch on that was shown at Gamescom. But first off, Capcom is going all in for Tokyo Game Show 2025. They're bringing 8 playable titles to the show floor, Jake, including major franchises like Resident Evil Requiem, Street Fighter 6, Pragmata, and multiple entries in the Monster Hunter and Resident Evil series. This is per Push Square. And they're also going to host a Capcom online program live stream on September 24th, spilling the latest Capcom news and potentially unveiling new announcements via Push Square. And this year's Tokyo Game Show is being billed as the biggest ever, raising expectations that Capcom may drop significant reveals alongside their already impressive lineup. That being said, Tokyo Game Show will also feature other software from Bandai Namco, to include Code Vein 2, Digimon Story, Time Stranger, Everybody's Golf, Hot Shots, Little Nightmares 3, and Once Upon a Katamari. So these are some confirmed things for Tokyo Game Show, which seems to be gearing up to be a pretty big event from what I can tell. I mean, I'm excited about the Capcom stuff for sure. Jake, you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in Resident Evil Requiem and Pragmata. I don't know that I necessarily care much about Monster Hunter. I don't really care much about Street Fighter 6. Mm-hmm. As far as other games in the Resident Evil series goes, there's rumblings that maybe it would be the next remake might be something like Resident Evil 0 or Resident Evil Code Veronica. Was it Code Veronica? I think so.
I don't know.
I'd be interested in that. I mean, it would be cool to see Resident Evil 0. I've never played that game before. I've always wanted to. But if they're going to remake it, I'll just wait until the remake comes out.
Yeah.
I would hope that, like, if they remake Resident Evil 0, then after that they remake Resident Evil 1, because that game still hasn't been... I mean, it was remade for GameCube, but that was fucking 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
So they need to redo that one. And Resident Evil 0 is a prequel to the first Resident Evil game. So if they remake 0, then maybe that means they're going to remake 1. And that would be very exciting to me. As far as, like, the other stuff at TGS, Everybody's Golf, interesting to me. I'm not sure that I care much about anything else on this list. I know people love Little Nightmares. I've never played one, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it. It looks cool, but I've never played one, so I don't really know what to say about that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very good. Yeah. Hot Shots. Bringing Hot Shots back sounds great. I'm into that. That's good.
Yeah, dude.
I used to play Hot Shots Golf all the time, and this is kind of a place. It's Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, so I'd imagine.
Well, Everybody's Golf was what they called Hot Shots in Japan.
Gotcha.
So
it's more of that.
So, yeah. Now they're basically going back to the Everybody's Golf moniker. They made Everybody's Golf on PS4. That was like the next game in the series where they went back to the Everybody's Golf name. Mm-hmm. But now the next entry is going to be Everybody's Golf: Hot Shots, which is kind of a throwback to, I guess, both versions of the game title. So I'm excited about it. I love these games.
They are good. I mean, I don't know how many games you and I talk about on this show in the news. We're like, man, I can't wait till that comes out. It's going to be awesome. And then we just never fucking get them. And we never play them. It's like, man, I can't wait to play some Hot Shots. But I'll never fucking buy it. But I'm stoked that it's there. Yeah, I love those games. There's just not enough time as an adult. You know, you got to choose your own adventure wisely when it comes to gaming as an adult. But next news point, EA's free-to-play Skate reboot is gearing up to officially reveal its early access release date on Tuesday, August 26th, 2025, via a live stream starting at 9 PT and 12 Eastern Time. So Pacific and Eastern, obviously. Will be available on YouTube. So August 26th, we're going to see some early access shit about Skate from EA. And the announcement comes alongside a fresh reveal of the game's box art. We get a glimpse of what to expect on the digital storefronts. This is a pretty big milestone for this title, Jake. It's getting closer to launching in early access later this summer. And I don't think having Skateboard back in orbit in gaming, and like especially with the Tony Hawk stuff that came with Skate and Tony Hawk, are clearly definitely different games. But man, I'm seeing more and more skaters in rural neighborhoods lately, which is kind of interesting. I work in Franklin. I saw 2 kids, scooting around on boards on my lunch break, and they didn't look like they really were very capable, but they had boards. And then it seems like anytime I take a walk here in Meadville, I see a couple kids on skateboards. Like I saw a couple kids like bombing this hill. It was awesome. And I was like, man, I just remember like, you remember when that saying was going around for a while? I was like, go touch some grass, get out and touch some grass.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's all part of this. And it's almost like a reaction to all the internet shit and digital world we live in. So even though we're talking about a digital version of skateboarding with Skate, I really like the Skate games. They're a little more complex to play. You had to kind of move your analog sticks in the ways, your left stick was your back foot and your right stick was your right foot. So you pop a move and you try to mimic what your feet would do, and it kind of would do the trick. A little more technical than the Tony Hawk games, but I'm excited about this, and I hope they've done a good job with it. I have no idea. I won't be getting any early access on this, but depending on how the game is received, I could see myself maybe picking this game up. What about you?
I mean, it's free to play. Why the hell not? Right? So it's definitely something that I'm interested in giving a try for sure. Is it something that I'm gonna stick with? I don't know if I will or not. It really depends, because it doesn't seem like it's funny. I say it doesn't seem like it's as serious as the original Skate games, but it's definitely got that more, Fortnite kind of art style, and it's obviously it's a free to play game, so it's gonna be chock full of shit that I don't care about, but I'm interested in giving it a try. I want to see, because dude, I love skateboarding. I am terrified of it though. It's so fucking scary to do. I used to skate when I was a kid. I never got much past a kickflip, and maybe some pop shove-its here and there. I could ride the ramps and drop in and things like that, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And one of the coolest things about being a kid skateboarding in like rural Pennsylvania is, dude, my parents didn't give a shit. Like we had like scrap wood and shit around the house, and I would like build ramps with it and stuff in the garage and in the driveway, and we'd make our own ramps and crap and be just having a blast. So the fact that kids are still out there skating is awesome. I get so like, dude, skateboard wrecks are so cringe-inducing though, because of how violent they are.
Yeah, man,
and none of these assholes are wearing helmets.
Most of them aren't.
None of them are wearing
right.
Yeah, right. And it's like these dudes are fucking bombing like a flight of 20 stairs without like a shirt on, and it's like, bro, you guys are crazy. But it's yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. I love the sport, and I still to this day watch like skate clips online because
yeah.
dude, skateboarders now are so fucking psychotic that it's like dude, they're like 15-year-old kids that do shit that like the pros couldn't do when we were younger. Like, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And obviously I have an appreciation for like the Tony Hawk games and stuff. And I through the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, I grew an appreciation for Rodney Mullen, who like at the time I never knew that he like invented every single trick. And most people don't know that because it's weird. Like people know Tony Hawk and like Bam Margera and like these big personalities and shit. But then, they're like, who the fuck is Rodney Mullen? And then you watch a video of him from like 25 years ago, and he's doing all this insane flatland shit that you're like, how the fuck has no one heard of this guy? And then you find out, oh, he invented the ollie.
Yeah.
It's like
he built the first skateboard. No.
So, yeah, anyway, that's a bit of a digression. But yeah, I'm totally stoked on this. I don't know if I'm going to actually play it, really. Yeah. I'll download it and try it out, but I have a hard time believing that this is going to hold my interest for a super long time, just because of the nature of the game.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Yeah, dude, skateboarding is so reckless. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about it, like you said. So, I mean, I found my old board the other day. I don't even know what kind of board it is. It's all scuffed up, but the grip tape was still fine on it. And I scooted around a little bit, and I was just like, this isn't like I remember. Like, I feel way too fragile now. Like, I just don't, I think the older you get, like, the more you're just like, yeah, man. And it is one of those things that if you don't use it, you definitely lose it, dude. I used to be so comfortable on a board, and I got on that thing, and I was like, I feel like I'm going to fucking die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything about you is physically, mentally, everything is different from when you were a kid.
Right.
Like, I still have a board in my garage. I think it's like a World Industries board or something. And every now and again, I'll get it out and I'll roll around the driveway, and I'm like, bro, who fucking does this?
Yeah, right.
It's like, it's so awesome, but at the same time, it's like, it feels so, feels so alien to do.
Dude, it's weird. Anyways, let's get into something that we feature in our title of our show today. The Bitmap Bureau is working on a new retro-style He-Man brawler, Jake, and this was part of Gamescom, but I wanted to talk about this independently because it looks so cool. It's called Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction. The gameplay plays like a classic 1990s beat-em-up, side-scrolling stages. There's like really nice, whatever bitmap art or whatever they call it. What do they call that kind of art right now? Pixel art. Yeah, geez. And it has settings from Eternia, which is where He-Man and company are from, to include like the Royal Palace. There was a Gamescom demo that featured He-Man and Teela as playable characters with more heroes and villains expected. It's shaping up as a nostalgia-driven title that leans heavily into the old-school arcade feel. The reason I popped this on here is the pixel art is awesome in this game, and the characters are chunky. This has Golden Axe kind of written over it, too, with like, it looks like He-Man calls down like this. It's the perfect setting for a Golden Axe ripoff game, but to do it better now, right? This setting, He-Man's making a comeback. You see the figures at Walmart now. I will say that I, through and through, am a G.I. Joe fan. That does not mean that I didn't have my fair share of He-Man characters growing up. And I did, and they all came with these little mini comics, and that was cool. But speaking of comics, I've been going through some of my stuff recently. I found He-Man number 1, 2, and 3 comic books. The first comic books that He-Man for his own series had. And I have them. Bagged and boarded. Didn't even know I had them. They're not really worth a lot. They're probably like, if they were graded, they're probably like 6s or 7s. But they came out on Star Comics, which was a subsidiary of, I want to say, Marvel? Might have been DC. I don't remember which one it was from, but it was like a little imprint comic book company. And I have He-Man numbers 1, 2, and 3, which is awesome. But looking at this was just kind of synchronicity or serendipity or whatever. I found those, and then Gamescom happened, and then I saw this game, and I'm like, oh, dude, this... And then it's a beat 'em up to boot, and I'm like, this is my kind of fucking game. So when is the G.I. Joe one coming like this? We had a shitty G.I. Joe one. It was better than the other G.I. Joe games, which isn't saying, the bar's not been set high, but it could have been so much better. It could have been the way that this looks, or like Streets of Rage 4 looked, but no. G.I. Joe kind of was mediocre, but this looks awesome. Ted, did you see this game?
Yeah, it looks fucking great. It's so funny that they can't bring themselves to make a game like this in the G.I. Joe universe that's so rife with like iconic characters. And yet they're going to make a He-Man game that looks as good as this one.
And there's honestly probably only like 15 He-Man characters, good and bad total. Like G.I. Joe has hundreds. Like you have the world to pick from. Anyways, I don't know.
It's so funny to me. I mean, I think it looks great, to be honest with you. Am I going to play it? I don't know. I mean, these games are hit or miss for me. I really liked Shredder's Revenge. TMNT Shredder's Revenge was the last one I played. I fucking adored that game. Is this game going to be in that vein for me? I don't know. I think He-Man's interesting. I think he's kind of a product of his time in many ways. Mm-hmm. But obviously... The villain Skeletor is an iconic character of all time. Probably, honestly, a lot more iconic than He-Man himself. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see more.
It just looks so good, and I'm looking at it right now. It just looks so good. Like the characters are beefy and chunky, and they fill up the screen, and they move quick. It just looks good, man. Anyways, I'll shut up. Let's move on. A little bit more to talk about. Sony is increasingly tightening its grip on Bungie, Jake, by integrating the studio into its PlayStation Studios umbrella, signaling the end of the autonomy Bungie once held post-acquisition. This news point comes via Push Square. Longtime CEO Pete Parsons, who led the studio through years of expansion and turmoil, has stepped down and passed leadership to Chief Development Officer Justin Truman. The studio now faces an uncertain future with ongoing challenges such as the delayed Marathon project, declining Destiny 2 engagement, and recent layoffs, as well as a shift away from independent operation under Sony's direction. What do you think about this? What does this mean for Bungie? This is a good move or a bad move? This guy getting the boot, essentially. Pete Parsons out.
I mean, very clearly they've not been run well in recent years. And this guy is the head of the snake, so you might as well chop it off and get something else coming. Because... could it be worse? Sure, but now that they're like kind of fully underneath PlayStation in terms of like their leadership and stuff, it's like theoretically, even though they're bringing this guy in who's from within the fold, maybe the fact that Sony's kind of got them on a leash now, it won't be as big of a deal. It's just a bummer how much money they invested in this company, just to essentially erode away everything that they bought it for, which is the leadership and the knowledge of the live service stuff and all of that. So I don't know, man. To me, it just seems like a good thing that Pete Parsons is stepping down, but at the same time, do I think it's going to make a difference? I don't know. This is the Bungie for me is a seeing is believing kind of experiment at this point, because I don't know that anything is got me all that excited, especially with the lukewarm response to the Marathon alpha. So who knows? It could be a while before we see anything, before they fully right the ship at Bungie.
I agree. Dude's got to go. We won't know until we see how this all wraps up. Acquiring Bungie might have been the worst idea that Sony has had. Who knows? It may yet to be the best. We'll find out. Time will tell. It reveals everything. Very well put, Jake. And let's talk about real quick. You guys know that I'm a big horror game fan and movie fan as well. Jake, you like the horror movies once in a while as well. There is a studio, IllFonic, which were the folks behind Friday the 13th, the game. When that license ran out, they took the game off the servers. They are now developing a new title based on the 1978 Halloween film franchise. The game is going to include both a 1 versus 4 asymmetric multiplayer mode. One player is Michael Myers and the others as just victims. And there's still an unexplained single-player experience, apparently, which the Friday the 13th game did not have. To coincide with the Halloween season, this is slated to launch on PlayStation 5 in 2026. It is in early development. There is a trailer. I don't know if it's actual in-game footage or not, but it does get you kind of excited. It's a good time to start broadcasting about this about a year out, hopefully, from the release. And they can probably take a lot of the inner workings of the Friday the 13th game they had, reskin it, make it cool. What I do like is the attention to detail in the trailer. The font that comes up at the beginning, it looks like it's film. It kind of shimmies around a little bit subtly. And I don't know that I love the narration, but I think this game looks dope. And I'm happy to see Michael getting some screen time. Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're exposing Halloween a little bit more. I'm not that big of a Halloween guy. I watched the first movie. I can say that watching the movie, I appreciated it more as like what it did for film than as like an actual entertaining experience.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like, John Carpenter's the music is always fucking rad. And then like there's like just like shots, like cinematic shots in the movie that are like, wow, this is a fucking cool shot. But like the actual movie about Michael Myers, I'm just like, it's a guy in a mask. He fucking kills people with a knife. It's not, that much different than you would expect from many other slasher movies. Though I know that I'm probably, pissing in somebody's Wheaties by saying that. But it's like, I think that the character and everything is very iconic. But as far as like the movie itself, it's not as exciting to me as some of the other stuff like Friday the 13th. But I've only ever seen the first one. I've seen basically every Friday the 13th movie and how that franchise changed over time and all the wild shit that it got into and everything. So maybe, but I've heard that like the newer ones are actually pretty good.
They are, yeah.
Actually, you know what? I saw in theaters the Rob Zombie remake, and I remember being actually terrified in that movie. I remember it being really good. Yeah. So I did see that one as well. Yeah. But but as far as the game goes, you have to imagine that they're just gonna basically slap a fresh coat of paint on the Friday the 13th game, maybe add some features, some music, some
different setting,
some Halloween je ne sais quoi to it, to make it a little bit more of the franchise. To kind of, because one of the things that I think that Friday the 13th, the game did really well is cater to the fan. I think there's a lot of fan service in that game, and I have to imagine they're going to do the same thing with this game as well.
Yeah.
Like the thing that was cool about Friday the 13th is like the settings and the different like outfits,
the characters,
and the way that the way that it felt to be Jason, the way that it felt to be chased by Jason. They were all very reminiscent of the movies. So I hope that they do the same thing with this. Like you would imagine that this studio could apply this formula to all of these classic movie genres.
Yeah.
Like they could apply it to the Friday the 13th, or not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, which would be insane because you can imagine like the environments in that genre would be psychotic because it's all dream worlds. Or like even like if you wanted to keep it a little bit more of the type, you could do like a Scream game, or something like that,
Texas
where
Chainsaw
you're playing
Massacre,
as Ghostface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Cornfields,
grimy,
farmland, right,
like it would be like you could imagine they could almost make sort of like a niche for themselves by, like imagine they had like a Fortnite type platform, but it was like you can play the Friday the 13th vertical, or you could play the Halloween vertical, or you could play the Scream vertical, or whatever. And it's like, I think that they could do something really cool here. I think the nightmare for them is really going to be the licensing of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably part of the reason why they shut down Friday the 13th, is because, eventually the licensing isn't worth it. So they got to shut it down and start on something new.
Or it expires or something, right?
Or it expires or something. You know what I mean? It could be anything. But, yeah, I think this is cool. I mean, it's not really going to be a game for me, but as much as people liked the Friday the 13th game, you have to imagine that people are going to dig this.
Yeah, for sure, man. Very good. I agree. I'm excited. I just want to see a game where, as the character, you step outside of the house, it's dark, the wind is rustling the leaves, maybe there's a group of kids in the distance, like going trick-or-treating. That would be kind of fun, man. I just want that vibe. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully Dr. Loomis is in it somehow, and he has some sort of better narration than what was in the trailer. And we'll see. Anyway, Sony has announced a $50 price increase on all PlayStation 5 models in the U.S. effective August 21st. This hike raises the standard PS5 to $549.99, the PS5 Digital Edition to $499.99, and the PS5 Pro to a $749.99 price point, while accessory prices remain unchanged. Sony attributes the decision to a challenging economic environment, pointing to rising costs and ongoing U.S. tariffs as primary drivers. This is the first U.S. adjustment after similar increases in other regions like Europe, the U.K., Australia, and New Zealand. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you really kind of punch the numbers, or put the numbers, put it into your calculator, $50 sounds like a lot, but if you really think about it, it's not as much as the actual tariffs are. So Sony is still taking a little bit of a hit to even make them $50 more, at least on the higher end consoles. Maybe not so much on like the all digital edition or whatever. Yeah. But I'm not trying to defend them or anything. But I'm just saying that like, I would hold your horses before you think that like this is fully like a money grubbing kind of decision that they made. So could they afford to not do it? Probably. But companies exist to make money, and as much as I don't like it, like if my PlayStation 5 were to break right now, I'd have to go buy another one, and I don't want to pay $50 more for one.
Right.
But fuck, man, I'm paying whatever. I'm paying $8 for a loaf of bread or some shit. So it's like, why would I not pay $50 more for a freaking PlayStation 5?
Yeah, I get it.
So as much as I hate it and I don't want it, and I don't think that I wish that we could get into a place where this isn't the case. It's like the fact of the matter is that this is kind of a luxury hobby, and it's not immune to the effects of tariffs and inflation. So it is what it is, I suppose, as much as it sucks.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll go back down when they come out with another model or something. Who knows? All right, Gamescom happened. I just wanted to go over some of the PlayStation games, the highlights. I'm gonna rip through the list of the PlayStation games, and then we can go back. We'll do a double back and talk about the ones that stood out to us. Lots of shit was shown. Ghost of Yōtei. There was a new Legends multiplayer mode that was announced and shown. I don't know if it was shown, but I know it was announced. Resident Evil Requiem. It's a sequel to, I don't know what Resident Evil game it is, but it's got a 2026 February release window. Hollow Knight Silksong was a big, long-awaited game. It's got a 2025 release scheduled. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Arkham-style combat. Open world. Gotham. Lego 2026 release. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. PS5, PS4. Co-op campaign. Zombies mode. Early access before its release on November 14th. Lords of the Fallen 2. There was a cinematic trailer shown. It's got a 2026 release date. Silent Hill 2 Remake is the remake for Silent Hill 2. It's in development. Monster Hunter Wilds in a Final Fantasy 14 crossover. I don't know, maybe coming autumn 2025, from what I understand. Onimusha Way of the Sword 2026 release. Europa Universalis 5. There is a PS5, PS4 version confirmed alongside PC. Deadpool VR, PS5, scheduled for November 18th. Black Myth Zonky, release date is to be determined. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, October 21st, right around the corner release. And Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 4. A teaser was shown, release of 2026. Jake, those are the main highlights, and then there were some notable indie games I'll just bring up afterwards. But anything on here, I'll say Ghost of Yōtei, obvious. Resident Evil Requiem. I never played Hollow Knight. Maybe I did, but I didn't beat it. Whatever. Yeah. Call of Duty, whatever.
I didn't. Silent Hill 2
yeah, right.
remake, or like didn't they? That already came out. Is this Silent Hill 2 or is it Silent Hill 1 remake?
Excuse me. I guess I gotta look into that. I was blowing through these notes pretty quick, so I will have to check. Let me see here. Was this Silent Hill F? Maybe.
Yeah, could have been Silent Hill F.
Maybe that's what I meant.
So obviously, like you said, Ghost of Yōtei, awesome. Resident Evil Requiem, can't wait. I thought the Lego Batman game looked pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of hit or miss with Lego, and I'm hit or miss with Batman. But I thought that the Lego Batman game actually looked really cool.
Yeah.
Black Ops 7. It's like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Can we not like make this freaky deaky shit? Can we just make a military shooter again? Like, can we just go back to making like a normal military shooter? Why are we fucking being in Inception world, getting gassed by Scarecrow monster guy and fucking doing all this other crap? It's like, come on, guys. I just want to play a fucking military shooter. That's why I can't wait for Battlefield 6. It's like, I don't want to play this crap. Now, it is cool, like, they're doing something interesting where it's like, you can do co-op campaign on this. Not for me anyway, but it's cool that they're doing something new with it. I just will say that, like, as much as I generally like the Call of Duty stuff, there's something about the recent games with all the craziness and the psychosis and all this crap that it doesn't jive with me. It's like it's trying to be that part of Uncharted 3 where you're like on drugs and like all the enemies' heads catch on fire. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like they're trying to be that, but like cranked up to 11, and it's like I don't want this out of Call of Duty. I just want a tight feeling, like fun military shooter with a cool story. And maybe we'll get that out of Battlefield. Although I will say Black Ops 7 will be in Game Pass, so maybe I'll just fucking play it because I have Game Pass. But I'm not. It's like meh. Lords of the Fallen 2, like the trailer looked cool, but this is another Souls-like game. Not really going to be for me. Silent Hill F is another game that looks kind of interesting. but I don't really know what to make of it. Like I was looking at the combat, and it was like some girl like waving a stick around or something. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I haven't looked a whole lot at it. Maybe I need to do a little bit more digging, but it likely will. I'll have to wait for reviews on that one. Onimusha looks cool.
Yeah.
Black Myth, I never played the first one, so I don't know. I don't know how a Deadpool VR game is going to work. That's kind of interesting. So we'll have to see. I assume it's some kind of like sword gun fu kind of VR game, which might be kind of cool. I don't know. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I know people really like the first one, but I've never played it. Dawn of War 4 is interesting because I bought Dawn of War, the first one, when it came out on PC, and I really liked it.
You did?
And I have not played one since then. So this was probably fucking 20 years ago. And it's cool. Like Warhammer is very well suited to an RTS game where you're managing armies of space marines and freaking orcs and shit like that. And it's very, very cool. But I can't imagine playing a game like this on PlayStation. This would be a game that I would want to play on PC with a mouse and keyboard. But I don't know. Maybe they'll optimize the controls for PC. Or sorry, PlayStation. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say about all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it looks, Dawn of War looks cool, but the trailers always look cooler than the game. You know, it's like they show these really cool cinematic trailers, and then they're like, coming in 2026. And it's just like this really, you know, top-down fucking strategy game. And you're just like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's RTS.
It's true. It's true, man. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know about that Deadpool game, but notable indie smaller titles, and we don't got to talk about these, but I'll at least say them out loud so we can say we told you. Witchspire, Dreams of Another, 13Z, The Zodiac Trials, Pizza Bandit, Recur, Servant of the Lake, Chronos, The New Dawn, Town to City, Fellowship, Discounty, Bounty Star, Towa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, Shape of Dreams, Reach VR, Little Nightmares 3, Lost Helden, Serial World, Phantom Blade Zero, and Active Matter. Active Matter is a cool title. But that's all.
I think that Chronos the New Dawn looks really cool. And obviously we already talked about Little Nightmares. Phantom Blade Zero is that like really rad looking, I think it's like Chinese made looking kind of sword combat game that looks almost too good to be true. So I'm really interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
I think they've come out and said that like it's not a Souls-like game, even though it kind of looks like one. So I am interested in that one. But yeah, of this list, probably for me, it's going to be Chronos the New Dawn. I just think that game looks really rad. I don't know. There's something about it. It just looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very horror, like survival horror, but it's like a really unique kind of art style and concept.
Yeah. A lot of games kind of bite on the aesthetic now of The Last of Us, but the guy kind of reminds me of like Joel with a backpack or whatever, but like it is a zombie. It's very much a zombie game. And like you said, the aesthetic is kind of interesting. It's real blocky looking, but also very detailed at the same time.
Do you know what game you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so. What you said, Chronos the New Dawn?
Yeah, Chronos the New Dawn is like the Dead Space kind of game.
Hold on. Nope, that's not the one I'm talking about.
It's like
I was thinking about this other zombie game I saw. What the hell title was that? And what game was
I don't
it?
remember. I know which one you're talking about, where it's almost like a pixel art kind of style.
Dreams of Another, maybe?
What was that game called? It was like one of the first ones shown.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Well, it wasn't Dreams of Another. Let me see. It was a survival game shown at Gamescom 2025 because I thought it looked cool.
Long Gone.
Yeah, that's it. I don't even have to look it up. I know that's it.
Yeah, that's the one. That actually looks interesting though.
Yeah.
Like I do remember like reading like I'm like kind of scrubbing through the trailer now. It looks pretty cool.
It does look cool. It's a cool title too. Long Gone.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got those two games confused. Well, they only showed about 75 games at Gamescom, so my bad. Anyways, man, there's new games that came out this week or coming out this week. We talk about this every episode, and then we're going to be out of your hair. We'll be done. And the new games come out August 25th, Zoocosis. August 26th, Gears of War Reloaded, Space Adventure, Cobra, The Awakening. August 27th, Varley. August 28th, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and Robots at Midnight. August 29th, Lost Soul Aside and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. What do you think, Jake?
I mean, that's a pretty good list of titles. You've got just in bangers there. You've got Gears of War Reloaded. You've got Metal Gear Solid Delta. You've got Lost Soul Aside, and you've got Shinobi. So those are all big games that are coming out. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to play all of them. The one that I'm interested in that I probably won't play right away is Gears of War, just because I have played that one already. But like Metal Gear Solid Delta, I never did beat that game. I had the original on PS2, but I never beat it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested in playing it. My understanding is that it's a very faithful remake. Like it is almost like a 1-for-1 remake of the game. So yeah, there's some quality of life improvements to the controls and the camera and stuff, but it is very much like the original game. Lost Soul Aside I'm just interested in because it's like one of those China Hero games, but it looks really kind of wild. Mm-hmm. And then obviously I talked about a couple weeks ago playing the demo for Shinobi and how much I enjoyed that. So I'm not sure what to say, but I definitely have to make some decisions about what I'm going to play next, because chances are I'm only going to be able to play one, maybe two of these games before Ghost of Yōtei comes out in early October. So that's where I'm at right now.
Very good. Very good. I probably won't play any of these right off the jump. I've got to finish Death Stranding too. But that being said, Jake, I got nothing else to say. There was one thing, actually, I was going to say. See if I can conjure it up. We talked about the band, music. There was something relevant to the show I wanted to bring up. It's gonna kill me. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I guess it doesn't matter right now. It was actually relevant. It was good. I thought about it earlier and I didn't write it down.
Oh, man.
Fuck. Oh, well. It's not like anybody cares anyways. But it's going to drive me crazy. All right. Anyways, doesn't matter. Oh! It was music related. I don't know what the hell was... Dude, it's like right there. I forget it. It came and went again. All right. Are you good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in to episode 389. No, 390. Sorry. Jeez, PS, this is awesome. This episode is titled Gamescom, He-Man, and PS5 price hike. Tune in every week to your preferred streaming platform. And don't forget to throw a buck our way if you can. Patreon.com/PS. This is awesome to get the episode early. Otherwise, check us out on YouTube. Go give us a like and subscribe. Please, please, please. All that being said, we appreciate you. And we'll catch you next time. Like Trials Rising, Titanfall 2, and the Tomorrow Children. P.S. This is awesome.
This is awesome.